Hello, my name's Kelly. Thanks so much for watching my video. I'm here today to do my most anticipated releases of the second half of 2016. That was a really long sentence, and let's ignore the fact that I never actually got around to posting the most anticipated releases of the first half of 2016. We'll just let that one slide. Anyway, I've narrowed it down to 9 books and we're just gonna get right on in. Actually, no, we're not. Before I get right on in, my previous video was a review for A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, which is the sequel to A Court of Thorns and Roses. It was monstrously long, but I don't know. I actually really want to hear what people think about some of the things I said in that video. So I would love it if you could go check it out right about here and just give me some feedback. If you don't want to watch the whole thing, I do not blame you. Just dive in along the timeline, if you don't mind spoilers, and just, I don't know, give me some feedback. I would love it. Alright, onwards. So my first pick is coming out on July 1st. It's the first book in a duology by V.E. Schwab. The duology is called Monsters of Verity, and the book is called The Savage Song. It's set in a metropolitan city overrun by monsters, which is being compared to Gotham, which already sounds awesome. It follows a boy and a girl. The girl wants to be ruthless, the boy wants to be kind. Essentially, they're choosing between being heroes or villains, friends or enemies. And I'm up for some of that. My next book comes out on July 7th and is called And I Darken by Kiersten White. The cover really gets me, that savage, feral looking girl on the front. I love it. And I first heard about this at the Penguin Random House roadshow that I went to recently, and I wish they'd had an arc for me because I so want to read this book. It follows a girl and her brother who are, because of the significance of their families, they're essentially political targets, and they are taken as hostages to another court where they both fall for the same sultan's son. The girl is kind of the anti-princess, a real survivor and warrior, whereas her brother is essentially much softer with more of the feminine characteristics you might have expected from her. And although she really wants to protect him, I gather there's going to be love rivalry that might test those familial bonds. I don't know why I ended that way, but moving on to number 3. Book 3 comes out on August 3rd and is The Beauty of Darkness by Mary E. Pearson. This is book 3 in the Remnant Chronicles, which have been so on point so far that I cannot wait for this. Political intrigue, romance, danger, follows an incredibly strong heroine and a rather smexy male. It has a love triangle in which the girl decides really early on who she actually wants, and the other one really is kept in the frame because she's in danger from his people. And I really like that. Ruthless but interesting to read. It's set basically in the turmoil created by 3 fractious kingdoms, with each of the characters being a representative essentially from all 3. Need this book in my life right about now. On August 30th, we get our sequel to An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. The sequel is called A Torch Against the Night and follows obviously the events of the first book, in which an emperor, was it, or at the least a figurehead, was decided after a series of vaguely gladiatorial games and trials. The world itself is quite Romanesque and militarized and violent and rapey, hoping for a little bit less of that this time around. Follows a fighter named Elias and a slave called Leah or Laya. Never sure how to say the name, even though YA wheels it out constantly. I'm not sure if this counts as dystopian or historic fiction because the dialogue is very modern, but the setting is historic. Either way, I'm looking forward to this one. Highly hyped last year, so I'm sure this one will be highly hyped this year also. On September 27th, we get the first in a new series by Rosamund Hodge. This book is called Bright Smoke, Cold Fire and is being described as Romeo and Juliet meets Sabriel. Essentially, Shakespeare's story of feuding families and doomed lovers transposed into a city threatened by necromancers and protected by the Juliet, a girl born in every generation with powerful magic. I don't know anything other than that. On October 4th, we have Fear the Drowning Deep by Sarah Glenn Marsh. This follows a girl living on the Isle of Man who hates the ocean and has done ever since her grandfather used it to end his life by diving in with a smile on his face. And then years later, another body washes up, and then she has cause to rescue a boy from a similar fate. So it seems that her enmity towards the ocean might be justified because something appears to be going on. October 25th will be a very happy day for me because it marks the release of Solutions and Other Problems by Allie Brosh. Allie Brosh is the author and blogger of Hyperbole and a Half, essentially a series of autobiographical comedic essays illustrated very crudely by Allie herself, and Hyperbole and a Half absolutely cracked me up, so I'm hoping that Solutions and Other Problems will do the same. The release date was pushed back, I believe, so let it not be pushed back anymore. I need that laughter in my life. November 8th gives us Heartless by Marisa Meyer, which follows in the footsteps of the recently released Queen of Hearts by Colleen Oakes and is the origin story for the Queen of Hearts before she becomes so very wicked. Anything that Marisa Meyer writes, fair warning, is going to be on these lists in future. After the Lunar Chronicles, I am so sold on that woman's writing. And in this retelling, as I understand it, an advantageous marriage to the King of Hearts is going to be cast aside, or at the very least jeopardized, by our heroine in favor of a forbidden romance with the court jester. Last but not least, there is a book coming out on the 27th of December that is giving me serious Sherwood Forest vibes. It is called Ever the Hunted by Erin Summerill, and it's book 1 in Clash of Kingdoms. I'm not sure if that's going to be a trilogy or a series yet. It follows a girl called Britta who spends her days tracking criminals through the Everwoods alongside her bounty hunter father. When her father is murdered, Britta is denied any rights to his estate, so she must take refuge in the Everwoods, which have always felt like home to her anyway. The person accused of murdering her father is none other than his apprentice and the boy who once broke her heart. So Britta goes on a quest to uncover the facts, and she does so through warring kingdoms, mad kings, dark magic, and as I understand it, along the way she discovers some magic all of her own, which I'm hoping are going to help on her quest. So looking forward to that one, as I am all 9. Bit of an odd number, but that's how many I came up with. I'm sure if I'd carried on trawling through Goodreads I could have found even more, but 9 is enough. Let me know in the comments below what you're looking forward to seeing in the rest of this year, and like this video and subscribe if you want to. See you later, guys. Bye.